It's incredible! Look, Kimberly, we can see Texas!
Yeah, it's really tiny.
You can clearly make out the Gulf of Mexico, the Mississippi Delta, and Corpus Christi Marina. You could almost see my yacht. That's where it's docked.
With Google Earth at work, you will see it if I can find my phone.
It's amazing. Even though we know today world maps are strictly accurate, unlike the map from the Middle Ages that didn't even mention America, here we have visual proof.
Don't tell me you paid a fortune to participate in the flight just to verify that America really exists.
Look, you can even see the Puerto Rico. Oh no, that's a fly speck on the windshield.
And that thing shaped like a laser gun. What is it?
That's Florida.
Funny, from here you can't see the borders at all.
What were you expecting? To see them drawn in the dots like a road map? They say that back in the day, you could see the Berlin Wall from space.
Oh yes. It's a shame it's not there anymore.
The Great Wall of China still exists. At least there's something sturdy.
Yes.
And what about you? Why did you take this trip then?
It was the grand prize of the contest organized by NBC.
And you won? Congratulations!
I had to give the name of a candidate who was eliminated the night before on a reality TV show.
When I think that this little space trip cost me $1 million.
Well, then there was the lottery. There were over 1 million of us who got the right answer. But to be honest with you, I would have preferred to win the second prize.
What was that?
A Fiesta.
Oh, yeah.
But brand new. With all the options. Electric windows, car radio, air conditioning.
It's truly incredible. No need to watch the weather on TV. I can tell you right away that in an hour from now, a massive cyclone is going to devastate Nicaragua. And believe me, it's going to be chaotic. It's so funny.
It's a bit hot here, isn't it? I had it in my hands earlier. It didn't fly away, did it? Igor!
Are you looking for something, Kimberly?
Yes, my iPhone.
Found it floating on the ceiling in the toilet. We have a little malfunction in the artificial gravity system in this part of the spacecraft. I'll try to fix it. Unfortunately, your iPhone was the only UFO floating in the toilet. But what are you planning to do with it?
Well, make a car.
I don't think that's going to be possible, Kimberly.
In airplanes, you only need to turn off your phone during the takeoff, right?
Yes, but we are in a space shuttle now. You can try reconnecting your iPhone, but I highly doubt you can get a network signal at 180 kilometers altitude, unless you give me the name of your operator.
Oh no, so it's not possible to make a car for the entire duration of. It's worse than being at a bitter then.
Sorry.
Don't tell me we're completely cut off from the world.
Not necessarily cut off from the world. Let's just say that in space, if your iPhone were to ring, you want to be a person from Earth on the other end of the line.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's the Alvin function. I forgot to change the time.
It must be difficult to determine the actual time when you are in orbit around the Earth.
In case of emergency, for example, wouldn't we even be able to call the fire department?
In case of an emergency, we'll connect to the control tower through the onboard radio. But if it's to reschedule an appointment with your hairdresser, I'm afraid you will have to wait until we return to Earth.
I don't even know what to wear tonight. Is it a formal event?
I would come dressed up, but it's up to you.
Oh, Commander. Hi, Kimberly. What did the shampoo girl want?
The address of your hairdresser. But don't worry, I didn't say anything. She would have to get past me first.
So Igor, is it the commander's party today? What have you cooked up for us? It's New Year Eve after all. We are not going to have your freeze-dried turkey with lukewarm water again.
Don't worry, Edwards. Everything is planned to celebrate the New Year in style. We have fried dry turkey with chestnuts, washed down with our best Russian champagne, lukewarm.
For the price I paid for my 4-star stay, I was hoping to at least have some French caviar.
You should have brought some of your famous sausages, Edwards.
I had a suitcase full of them, but they told me I had excess baggage. It was either that or my DVD player and my complete collection of The Simpsons.
And since you have good taste,
Well, in the meantime, to work up my appetite, I'll take another spin in the zero gravity room. I never get tired of it.
I understand that. It's the only place where he messages not to be heavy.
Spider pig, that's whatever a spider pig does. So Natalie, how are your research coming along?
God didn't create the world in a day. Give me a little week to try and understand how he did it.
If you file a patent, let me know anyway. Spider pig, that's whatever a spider pig does.
He made a fortune in industrial charcuterie.
He is funny.
It's annoying.
He is worth $1 billion, and without this novel, rich willing to play astronomical sums to catch a glimpse of Earth from space, I wouldn't be able to continue my research.
To think that the mystery of the creation of the world might be solved thanks to the sponsorship of a sausage brand.
And what about you? Without TV channels funding you, you'd be reduced to piloting characters to Kangan instead of a space shuttle. What is it about this time?
NBC is considering a new reality TV concept, something like a loft in zero gravity, or maybe a new version of Temptation Island, but on the moon.
Moon of Temptation, quite a program, so that's why Kimberly is here.
They want to prove that the human brain can withstand zero gravity with an IQ below 60. No way they are risking the lives of future contestants.
They could have done the experiment with a real turkey.
At least we could have had it for New Year's Eve dinner.
Well, maybe that is still possible for you.
I'm not sure if she's really my type.
Judging by how you were eyeing her earlier, one could doubt that.
Jealous?
Do you really think you could be my type?
At least for New Year's Eve dinner, I don't have much competition, unless Mr. Slim Jim is really your type of man.
Tell me, your Star Trek version of Temptation Island, has it already started?
Oh, excuse me. Captain Stork, I'm listening. Yes, okay. No, keep me informed.
A problem?
The control center just detected a leak in the oxygen supply system.
Seriously?
We don't know yet. They'll call me back as soon as they know more. In the meantime, we need to connect the backup power supply.
Do you think I can wear this tonight?
Excuse me, I have a small issue to deal with. No need to worry, the two tourists will stay for now.
He didn't even look at me. I feel like I'm invisible to him. Do you find me invisible too? Your dress certainly is. Isn't it a bit? Oh yes, it's very much so, but well, Christmas Eve, it is only once a year. We might as well make the most of it, right? You don't like it. Did I say that? Is everything alright, Captain spoke? I thought he was a commander, and his name was Igor.
Everything's fine. I've connected the backup ventilation system.
The backup system?
Just a minor technical issue, but it'll be resolved any minute now. Don't worry, we'll be able to celebrate New Year's Eve as planned.
All the better. But by the way, Commander, given that we are orbiting the Earth at almost the same speed as the Sun, well, you know what I mean. At what exact moment can we consider it midnight?
Believe me, Edwards, this is going to be the longest New Year's Eve of your life.
What a crazy trip. Well, it's something you only do once in your life.
You might not be far off.
It's the best day of my life.
Yes, and maybe the last.
Come on, Kimberly. I remind you that today you haven't done your daily workout in zero gravity. Remember that it's part of our daily routine.
It makes me feel sick to walk on the ceiling like a fly. I'm not a fly. Why do I have to do this?
I'll join you. You'll see. It's a lot of fun. Spider pig, that's whatever Spider Pig does.
So,
It's a bit more serious than I said.
you want me the truth, Commander. I remind you that in addition to my scientific mission, I am also serving as the co-pilot of this spacecraft.
The main ventilation system is permanently out of service. We have to rely on the backup system.
How much autonomy do we have?
4 hours.
Enough to return to Earth if we leave right away, but not enough to spend the New Year's Eve here. The two tourists will be disappointed, but it is not that serious. Edward will be refunded and Kimberly will get her face time.
It's not that simple, unfortunately.
I suspected as much. Otherwise, why would you have that puppy dog face? What else is malfunctioning in this rig?
The emergency oxygen system is only designed for 3 people.
Is this a joke?
Why would I have that puppy dog face if it were a joke?
Designed it for 3 people, but then how could they have let us leave with 4?
Spider Pig paid $1 million for his ticket. Without him, the flight would have been cancelled due to lack of necessary credits. And you won't have been able to carry out your research.
So you knew?
I told you, it was our only chance to make this trip. If had known, would you have given up this unique opportunity to prove your theories of the Big Bang?
No.
No, because if you success, it will probably earn you the Nobel Prize. So, what will you knowing have helped?
Okay, but those 2 geniuses over there are not Nobel worthy. They had the right to know. No.
Well, if they had known, they would have come.
Well done. And now, what do the gentle organizers propose down below?
Nothing. We are supposedly in charge now, but the equation is simple. We have air for 4 hours for 3 people. If we all die of asphyxiation before reaching Earth.
And how do we do that?
We also got the first aid kit from the Soyuz capsule. It was plan B in case of a worst case scenario.
Great, now we just need to find a volunteer. Philosophical, enough to drink hemlock.
I have a small idea, but you might not like it.
Go ahead.
A little cyanide powder with frozen dry chestnut talkie goes down smoothly. She won't even realize.
Are you joking, Commander?
Would you prefer Spider Pig?
That would be murder, Commander.
But sending 4 people up in a flying wreck is only 3 parameters. That's legal.
Anyway, it is going to be difficult to keep hiding the truth from them and much longer. Without necessarily alarming them, of course. I can always try.
If you can pull it off, you deserve the Nobel Prize psychology. Natalie, I guess you will have to settle for the Nobel Prize in physics after all.
I don't know what's stopping me from splitting both of your skulls.
The fact that we are the only two who can bring this spaceship back to Earth, perhaps.
I could kill just one of you, like you, for example.
Are you capable of that, at least?
I made my fortune running a slaughterhouse.
I'm not a ship, but nothing is stopping you from trying. I could always play self-defense.
Do you really think this is the right time?
Oh yeah? And when will be the right time? When we are all dead from suffocation.
Nothing else, Edwards. I suggest you stop breathing. That will solve our problem.
She is coming too.
Too bad. That could have solved our problem too.
Tell me this is a nightmare, and that I won't be with Vista.
Unfortunately not. Kimberly, you did win the jackpot.
You are not in an air-conditioned Fiesta, but in a flight coffin with ration air.
So it is true, we are all going to die.
Not all of us, I assure you.
At least you can see the bright side of things. That's your optimism shining through.
Is there any solution then?
Yes, capsule. You are the pilot, aren't you? You are the one who got us into this mess. You are the only one who knew and you didn't tell us anything. On a ship, it's the captain who goes down with his ship, after having put all his passengers on the lifeboats.
Hey, Spider Pig, come back down to Earth.
I would like to, and don't you dare address me informally.
We're not in the sea, my old chap.
Yet, we are on the Titanic.
I'm just a subordinate. I followed orders.
That's what the Kappa said in the death camps.
There's no point in getting upset. It only serves to burn up the little oxygen we have left. But Igor is right. It will be unfair to look for a culprit. And even if we found one, I remind you that the death penalty has been abolished in most democratic countries.
We could just wait until we fly over China or the United States.
The real culprits are down below. We know that, and we all knew when we embarked on this journey that it was more dangerous than a week at a club hotel in Cuba.
I went to Havana last year. I came back with the runs.
Alright, forget the People's Court. So what do? We could try to identify among us the one whose loss would be the least great for humanity.
Something tells me you have reasons to believe you are indispensable.
I run a company that employs over 200,000 people worldwide.
And do you really think your sausage factory won't outlive you? The shareholders will appoint another CEO, and that's it.
And what about you? Do you have reasons to believe you are more indispensable than me?
To begin with, I know how to pilot this spaceship.
Me too.
So you see, one of you will be enough to be the driver and handle room service. The other one can disappear altogether. Why not you, Natalie?
Do you think you are more useful to humanity than a future Nobel Prize winner?
Why not?
You are right. If there was a Nobel Prize for sausages, I'm sure it would be for you.
My sausage feed nearly a third of humanity. Natalie, what are you working on again?
The origin of the world.
What is the point?
None.
And have you found the answer to your questions?
No.
In that case, even though you may be Nobel worthy, I don't see how you can claim to be more useful than us.
I never say that.
And what about you?
What about me?
Give us one good reason to believe that if you don't come back alive to Earth, the fate of the world will be changed.
I have two cats and a canary waiting for me at home, not to mention my mother.
That is enough. We won't get out of this by discussing the value of one life compared to another. It is monstrous, it is true. I may not have discovered much, but at least I know that no life is less precious than another.
Perfect. Then let's vote.
What?
You mentioned democracy earlier, and there can be a certain greatness in sacrificing oneself for others. So let's vote to decide among us who we believe is most worthy for this honor.
I don't agree.
You are not obliged to participate in the vote. You are in a democracy, but nothing prevents us from voting for you. Otherwise, it's too easy. Everyone writes a name on a piece of paper. Fold it, and Natalie will proceed with the vote count. Igor?
Do you swear to abide by the outcome of this vote?
I swear.
Very well. I will make sure of it.
Your turn, Igor. In any case, Kimberly, I promise you that if we both make it out alive, you get your fiesta. I will personally make sure of it. Natalie, it is your honor to announce the result of the vote.
Igor, Edward, Kimberly. The vote does not yield a clear winner.
I vote against you. You vote against me. So, who voted against Kimberly?
It was me.
Are you volunteering to sacrifice yourself?
I made a mistake. I thought we're voting for the one among the three of us who should be saved.
Alright then, let's not decide anything.
In that case, we will all die. In about 2 hours.
By the way, why are we here discussing instead of starting the descent as soon as possible?
Because the position of the spacecraft will only be favorable for re-entry into the atmosphere in about half an hour.
Any earlier, we would bounce off into a higher orbit and we would all be condemned to endlessly orbit the Earth.
And to think they saw me this one-way trip as a pleasure excursion.
So you have about half an hour left to decide which of us has what it takes to be a hero.
It is a choice worthy of a great tragedy. If none of us is willing to die, we will all die. So each of us only has the choice between dying alone to save the other three, or dying for nothing with the other three.
All lay low and hope someone else sacrifice themselves in our place.
In any case, we won't get out of this by designating a scapegoat. The one who will die to save the other three must volunteer.
Perfect. Candidate?
I volunteer.
Very well. Then it's settled. And we have to thank you, even though, as you said, it was either that or all four of us die.
Why would you do that? Do you think you are Jesus Christ? You don't even believe in God.
Did anyone ask you anything? Since Madam says she's willing. In any case, I promise to take care of all the expense for your funeral. Do you have any particular wishes?
Shut up, Natalie. You are not going to sacrifice yourself for a sausage seller and a sausage period.
Who says I'm not sacrificing myself for you?
I'm not worth it. Believe me.
Let's say it is an act of pride, then if I have to die, I prefer to do it with panache. It's my Kirano side.
I won't let you do that.
And how do you plan to stop me?
I'm the one who has the key to the medicine cabinet, and if someone has to sacrifice themselves here, it's me.
Alright, you are not going to fight now.
Are you willing to sacrifice yourself for me? Why?
Because you are worth it.
What's certain is that both of you can't die. One of you has to bring this spaceship back to the Earth. I only have a heavy vehicle license, and this lovely young lady would barely be able to park her Fiesta in her garage.
I don't agree.
Excuse me, I take back what I said about the Fiesta.
I don't agree to let Natalie or Eagle sacrifice themselves for us.
You are not joining now too. We were about to figure it out.
How can you continue living with this?
Well, believe me, and we only have 15 minutes left to decide.
So, what do you propose?
Random chance. It's the only solution that seems fair to me.
Where?
Need to find the instrument of chance.
I would suggest Russian roulette. It would be fitting in a Soyuz capsule, but firearms are prohibited on board. Unfortunately, plus, if a bullet went through the brain and ended up in a war, we would all risk depressurization. That would be too foolish.
We have an X.
Yes, and how do we play Russian roulette with an X?
We could do it with poker. I draw cards. Each match represents a liter of air, and the loser has to stop breathing.
I don't know how to play poker.
I'll teach you. You will see. It's very simple.
Don't try to confuse us yet. Poker is not a game of chance.
Do you have a better idea?
Maybe
Where are you going?
to get refreshments. You say I was in charge of room service, right?
I suggest we stay together. How do we know you are not plotting something on the side?
You have my word, and you have to satisfy with that, unless you plan to physically stop me from leaving.
Fine, we are civilized people, after all.
And what if we toast to the new year?
Do you really think this is the right moment?
One of these glasses contains cyanide.
You know which one it is.
That's why I will take the last glass. The honor is yours, Edwards.
Do you really know which one it is?
No, otherwise, it won't be fun.
I can't stand champagne. It gives me a gas.
Sorry. To the health of survivors.
I still don't feel any symptoms. How about you?
Neither I do.
The poison takes time to work, maybe a wee quarter of an hour, I suppose.
Is cyanide paid for?
I don't know, I've never ingested it. Not until today. That is.
Why would it be you? You say you didn't know which glass the poison was in.
Let's just say an intuition.
From what I remember, cyanide poisoning caused convulsions first, then unconsciousness followed by a deep coma.
Oh, yes, indeed. You didn't tell us about all these side effects.
Considering it is the high toxic substance, the main side effect is death, which usually occurs due to heart failure.
It was the favorite poison of the Nazi aristocracy. Goring committed suicide with it to avoid execution after the Nuremberg trial.
Committing suicide to avoid execution, I don't quite see the benefit.
In any case, one of us will be dead in the next few minutes. I propose that each of us tells what they would change in their life if they had the chance to back alive on Earth. We won't be able to continue exactly as before, right?
Is that all?
I found the price utterly obscene at the time, but this adventure has taught me the importance of fidelity. And you, Edward?
To start with, I will never leave the solid ground again.
Oh, yes, and then what?
I will create a foundation.
You?
Why not? Like Bill Gates.
And what would be the purpose of this foundation?
I don't know, something like ending world hunger, for example.
Ah, yes, that's good.
I haven't always been this worthy, you know. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, as they say.
Don't they say a silver spoon, rather?
That's right, yes. For me, it was more like a silver spoon. My father was part of a junior branch, so when my grandfather died, I only inherited about one-fifth of his fortune. Well, it was already a nice sum, but it was only when my uncle died that I inherited his industrial charcuterie empire.
In the end, you also had a happy childhood.
If I became the king of sausage, it was with the idea of feeding all of humanity. In my own way, I'm an idealist too.
And to think that no one saw the revolutionary that sleeps within you. Promise, if it's you who dies, we'll erect a statue in your honor. And what about you, Kimberly?
I will resume my studies at the Oriental Languages Institute.
You studied?
Does that surprise you so much?
No, I mean Oriental language.
Yes, I wanted to be an interpreter, but I stopped when I entered the Miss Oklahoma contest.
You were elected Miss Oklahoma?
I could have been, but I had to resign just before the final. One of my ex thought of the low-budget film I had made a long time ago on the internet. A youthful mistake.
Really?
So you speak multiple languages?
Japanese and Mandarin fluently, and I am pretty good at Russian.
If I had known, I would have called on your skills earlier to help me figure out the medicine cabinet. I had a hard time finding the cyanide. It was labeled in Korean, I think.
Oh my god, are you experiencing contractions? I mean convulsions.
I'll let you finish your New Year's Eve celebrations in peace. Here,
I wrote you a little note just in case. You can read it when I'm no longer here. I don't like goodbyes.
I will accompany you.
No, thank you. I prefer to live alone. I wish you all a safe journey.
You too.
It's always the best ones who leave first.
There was no cyanide in his glass.
How do you know that?
Cyanide has a slight smell of bitter amount. I know, I've handled it in the laboratory before, and I have a keen sense of smell.
Oh yes, me too. I have an anti-allergenic syrup and smell exactly like that.
So it's just a turkey that he didn't digest well, and one of us three is going to die?
None of these 4 glasses contained cyanide.
But he really looked very sick.
What does that mean?
It means he absorbed the poison even before filling the glasses. Deliberately, moreover, you saw it well. He knew he was going to die. Otherwise, why would he have written this letter?
But why?
He sacrificed himself for us, willingly, but he didn't want us to know.
Why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense.
Probably to leave us with a clear conscience, making us believe that it was fate that saved us, and not his suicide, and true heroes don't seek honors.
My God.
What a man!
Yes,
And what does the letter say?
I prefer to read it later if you don't mind.
Well, yes, but it might be important. He was the pilot after all. I don't know. It might be instruction for landing.
So?
It is a kind of testament,
Did he leave us something? That's really generous for him.
more like a moral will.
Borrow? And then?
He would like you to name his foundation after him.
What foundation? Oh, yes, of course. The foundation?
Oh my God.
You too, Kimberly. He would like you to keep your promise.
My promise?
They'll want to resume your studies. He leaves you the contents of his savings book to enable you to do so.
How much?
15,000 euros.
Oh, yes! Quite a sum!
There's a little note for you too.
Some recommendations for landing. Indeed, the second one cracks a bit, and
And?
the rest is very personal.
Are you okay?
Ding 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 ding.
Yes. No? And you are telling us no? Okay, I will call you back.
What's happening now?
They managed to fix the leak in the main ventilation system.
In plain English?
We have enough oxygen to return to Earth safe and sound. All of us.
Great. Oh my God, Igor.
I will see if there is still time to do something for him.
Appealing this organization. They will hear from me when we get back. They presented it to us as a luxury train like a Orient Express, but it's all makeshift. The propulsion system from the American shuttle the cabin from the European station, the ventilation system from Russia.
The first aid kit from North Korea.
It is the Babel Tower. That rocket. Oh no. I demand a refund. Well, the main thing is that we are alive. We have made it out of danger, Kimberly. Can you imagine? You don't seem happy.
Poor Igor.
Yes, indeed. That's what happens when you try to be a hero. You see, it's a good thing we didn't rush into it.
Still, what courage. And he was handsome, that's true.
But I am here, alive. So you were in a porn movie when you were young. Honestly, Kimberly, I am rediscovering you, and you are multilingual too.
Thank you.
Tell me, Kimberly, this whole adventure has made me reflect. Mature, I would say. So, I have a proposal for you. I need someone I can trust to manage.
Your foundation?
What foundation?
Your foundation against world hunger.
That's. No, I was thinking more. Well, it's the same thing. I'm looking for a sales manager to enter the Asian market.
The Asian market?
I am sure you will make a fantastic sausage ambassador in that part of the world.
You think so?
You speak almost as many languages as the Pope, but with your looks. Look are the important in our time. How do you expect the Vatican to export to China with that old wrinkle thing that looks like a dehydrated sausage?
A dehydrated sausage?
A billion Chinese who only eat spring rolls and dumplings now. Can you imagine if you could convert them to sausage? It would be slaughter.
Hmm.
And as for advertising between us, I had a brilliant idea while admiring the sky with you earlier.
Oh, yes?
Projecting the image of my sausage on the surface of the moon with my name in a big letters using a laser from a satellite. Can you imagine the impact? It would be visible from the whole Earth. We are in the era of globalization. Damn it.
He is lying, unconscious on his bunk. Can't seem to bring him back, so I decide to go join him.
What do you mean? Go join him?
Oh my gosh, she swallowed the cyanide capsule too.
Oh no, but then we are going to die. Who's going to pilot the spacecraft back to Earth?
Sorry, I hadn't thought of that. Farewell, and be very happy together. I'm going to join a man I love for eternity.
Don't go! Where are you going? Natalie! They have done everything to us.
Still, it's quite moving, isn't it?
What the fuck?
Igor, Natalie, he agreed to die to save her, and she's going to join him in death. It's widely romantic.
It's just plain stupid, if you ask me.
It's Shakespearean. What proof of love? Would you be willing to die for me, Edward?
I think now I don't have much choice anyway. We are all going to die.
Now they're totally recreating Romeo and Juliet.
I don't understand. I saw two cyanide capsules, and I only feel slightly drowsy.
This isn't North Korean, it's South Vietnamese. And it's not cyanide, it's an expired sedative from 1973.
No wonder it is not very effective anymore. But then we are safe. He can pilot the spacecraft back to the Earth if we can keep him awake for just a little while longer.
Where's Natalie?
Will you see?
Do you feel up to driving? If not, show me quickly before you fall asleep again. It can't be that complicated to drive a rocket. I told you I got my heavy vehicle license in the army.
What happened?
We're safe, Commander. We managed to fix the main ventilation system. We can go back home.
And Natalie, tell me the truth.
That's to say.
Come on, one lost, 10 found.
And she thought you were that.
Don't tell me that.
Unfortunately, yes, Igor. But you can at least be sure of one thing. She loved you too.
Oh my god. I'd rather just end it too.
Oh no, not again! It's getting tiresome.
Edward is right. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. It's not North Korean either. It's Tibetan. And it's not cyanide. It's a powerful herbal laxative.
Expired?
Unfortunately not.
Is the zero gravity toilet?
It's going to be a real tsunami.
Igor, so you are not dead.
No, Natalie, it's a miracle. We are saved. I just took a sleeping pill.
That is wonderful.
I love you, Natalie. Since the moment I laid eyes on you, will you be my wife?
Yes, Igor.
That's a bullshit.
I'm so jealous. I also want that kind of love.
Really? Maybe you can do it with me. Kimberly, would you marry me?
Of course, yes.
Thank you.